So again, welcome and namaste. So today's session is about Jijnasa, that is art of relaxing mind through creative thinking. Okay. So hope you have your pen and paper or notebook ready with you, right? So we'll also try to do some exercise here to understand what kind of creative level that we are into right now. Okay. So first session is going to be orientation for 40 minutes. It's for both parents and students. And then we will have around 10 minutes of Q&A if there are any questions. And then there will be an exploration session for the students only, just to realize where do they stand on the space of creativity. Okay. Let's start with it. Okay, if you're ready with your pen and paper, let's try this exercise. Okay. You have seen the rubber band, right? Rubber band is known to you. It's nothing new. So if I have to ask a question, what are the ways you can use a rubber band? A simple question. What are the ways that you can use a rubber band? We will have 1 minute of time, 60-second challenge. This is a 60 seconds challenge. I want you to write at least 5 to 6 uses, but in a specific format. Now you see, here is an example. You'll use it to I'll use it to tie my sister's hair. And in the bracket, you can also describe a little bit as to what you want to do with it. What is the emotion behind this? And annoying her later. Likewise, I want you to write at least 5 of them in 60 seconds. I'll start the timer, and when I say start, you can start writing in your notebook. So are you ready with this? With the pen and paper? Okay, I'll start the timer now. And while I start this, I'll immediately tell you that you can start writing the uses. Okay? Here is the timer. What you need to do is write 5 different uses of rubber band with a little bit of description. Let the music also go on till then. Okay, the time's up. Nevertheless, do you want 1 more minute? How many of you, Darhas, how many were you able to write?
I wrote 3.
3?
I
Okay.
wrote use a rubber band for a motor.
Okay, I don't need the details, but then how many of you, you could write 3, right? So how about
3.
Rajesh?
5.
5? Very good. Nice. Very nice. So let's go on. Okay. I'll come to this point later. Now let's understand the situation today. It's for you to know as well as your parents to know. Where do we stand? Today, if you look at the situation in India, India is the biggest human capital in the world. Right? We have more than 60% of people who are under the age of 35. And most of the business professionals today who are in the industry feel that 91% of them feel that creative thinking is the key attribute today. Everyone should have. That means the kind of challenge that you had a few minutes back, you should be able to think fast and should be able to come up with creative solutions immediately. That is the expectation today. Okay. AI is growing. Artificial intelligence is growing like anything, no doubt about it. And future will be defined by AI and creativity skills. A person who can use AI and still be creative will be the person who will survive. I'll tell you, not even grow, survive. And today, if you look at the situation in India today, in India right now, creativity levels in Indian students stands at around 44%. It's very, very less. And only 42.6% Indian graduates are employable today without AI. With application of AI, this 42% could go to even 30%. And today, everyone agrees in the business sphere that skills are more important than degrees. It doesn't matter as to how many degrees do you possess. What matters is, can you really create something new for the world? Then only you are valid in the space of in the age of AI. Okay. Whatever you see around is just a glimpse of few of the pointers that those are coming from the media. Now, what is the need for today? Recently, there was a Future of Jobs report which was published, which said that you can see here there are top skills which are noted by the World Economic Forum, which will be valid from 2025 till 2030. So if you look at this, creative thinking stands at here top. That's the first cognitive skill that is required as on today. Rest all are like few of the technology skills which are required, like AI, big data, network, cybersecurity, technology literacy. The first cognitive skill that is required is creative thinking. Then comes analytical thinking and systems thinking. Everything revolves around one point, that is thinking. And the journal, Forbes journal, also mentions that rise of AI has also raised the demand for creative skills. So that simply means today, this is the skill to learn for all of us. In short, the summary is cognitive skills like creative thinking and ability to innovate are the skills needed in the organizations in the age of AI and tech disruption. Unfortunately, somehow, it'll take some time for our academic system to absorb this and bring it in the regular education system. And that's where we have this initiative of trying to develop the young kids in this space so that we don't lose out on this race. Now, the question is, how do we develop creative thinking ability? It is not one-time activity, yeah, that you attend this session or you attend another 3-4 sessions and you'll be creative. It is not like that. It is a practice, and it's a practice over a period of time. That's why we call it as creative gym. It's a marathon learning. It's not a sprint learning that you can learn in 1 or 2 sessions. It can be learned for sure. Creativity is a skill that can be learned, but as body needs regular exercise to stay healthy, brain also needs regular practice to stay creative. And that's where we have to practice it on a regular basis over a period of long stint, and then only you'll be able to show your creative potential wherever it is required. The moment you try creative art or creativity for a few days and then you leave it out, you lose that skill. That's how it is. It's similar to any other creative skills as well. Like, for example, if you look at, say, playing a musical instrument or learning to sing, if you lose touch with it for some time, you will certainly lose it out because you won't be able to sing or you won't be able to play the instrument with the harmony as you used to have when you were practicing it on a regular basis. It's the same case. So what's the difference between being creative with art and the creativity here? See, when you are creative with art, you are able to draw some, you're a good artist on paper, or you're a good painter, you're a good singer, you're a good instrument player. What's the difference between being these and being a creative thinker? When you are playing an instrument, when you are singing, or when you are creating a painting, that is something which can soothe your mind, right? It need not really solve any problem for the world. Here we are talking about creativity to solve a problem for the world, and that's more important. After gaining a skill, if you're not solving a problem for the world, then no one in the world will ask for your skill. If tomorrow, if you go to a job sometimes later when you grow up, and if you say that, I am a very good singer, I'm a very good instrument player, the company or anyone will ask, what is the use of it for me? It's good, you enjoy it, right? But then what's the use of it for me? That's where it's important that you should be able to clearly say that my creative thinking ability is useful to you in this manner. And that's what we're going to learn in this session. how do we use our creative thinking to solve a problem for the world? Not only just relax our mind with it, but solve a problem for the world. Yeah. What are the symptoms of a creative person? How do you say that a person is creative? First thing, he or she is curious. He questions the norm. What does that mean? For everything and anything, he or she asks why and what if questions. All of us have learned about gravity, right? All of us know about gravity, right? Imagine, that, our environment changes every moment. Sunlight changes every moment. Wind changes every moment. The layers below the earth also move every moment. The question is, why does gravity not change every moment? Why does gravity not change every moment? Every moment we have the same gravity. Why? What if gravity worked different on different day? What would have happened? These are the type of questions a creative person keeps asking. And that's what is called inquisitiveness, yeah? Curiosity. He's curious to know why does this not happen? And he tries to find an answer for this. Second symptom, he generates multiple ideas. If I say you have school lunch being provided in your school, and if I tell you how to improve the lunch in your school, the creative person immediately comes up with 10 or 15 different ideas straight away. Without any thinking, he's able to come up with ideas within 60 seconds. That means the person who's able to do is, he has exercised his brain so much so that can generate so many number of ideas immediately. That person is a creative person. Third one, artistic and expansive person. What does this mean? This person, a creative person, is able to express ideas in the form of drawing or music. He or she can read something and convert that into a drawing. He or she can read an article and convert that into music. A creative person can combine 2-3 musical tracks and create his own track. He reads a chapter from book and converts that into music, matches it to some of the music that he has heard, and is able to turn that chapter into a musical poem, right? So this is one of the symptoms that a creative person will have. He's able to work with ambiguity. That means he's comfortable when problems do not have clear answers. For example, I'll tell you that how do you make Bangalore city happy? Right? Typical answer will be that it depends on the, what kind of people are looking to be happy, what kind of people are there in the city. It depends on how they look, how they stay, how they live. All these depends do not come in the mind of a creative person. He straight away jumps on with assumptions that I can make this city happy if I am able to bring these changes. That is the trait of a creative person. He is able to work with ambiguity. He is not bothered about, ifs and buts. And he is also willing to experiment. If I tell a creative student that you go and try out a science project from your school, instead he will build a robotic arm. He will not stick to only science project in the school. He will try to build a robotic arm. I know some of you are like this, right? Such kind of, if you have any of these traits or many of these traits, you can still say you are a creative person. But that needs to be nurtured. That creativity needs to be nurtured, as well as this creativity needs to be channelized in the right way. Okay. Now, these are the few answers which you could find with the rubber band challenge that I gave you. How many of you found few of them from this list of 10? You can unmute and speak as well. If you found 2 of them, it's fine. 5 of them, it's fine. More than 5, it's fine. Any of these you found? Or different than this, it's also fine.
sir.
Even if you're not found, it's okay. But the point is, you should be able to find at least 5 to 6 ideas in a minute's time. That is more important. Okay. Now, there is a model called Guilford's divergent thinking model, which actually can help you evaluate how creative you are. We'll not get into the details of it today, but I'll just try to give you a glimpse of what it is. It talks about 4 parameters, which starts with number of ideas that you have generated. If you have generated 5 of them, then there is certain amount of rating for it. If you generated 10 of them, then there is certain number of there is a criteria to add rating to that. There is a second criteria, which is flexibility. That is, how many different categories in which you have created ideas. It can be in art, it can be in exercise, engineering, music, various categories in which you are able to generate ideas within 1 minute or within 2 minutes. Then the third criteria is originality. How unique are those ideas? Are they very common ideas, or how unique are they? Right? That is an important thing. Then the fourth thing is elaboration. That is, how well are you able to explain these ideas? Right? With these, there is a rating mechanism, and through rating mechanism, you can identify how creative you are, and you can always assess yourself and improve on this and see that over a period of time, how creativity levels are improving in you. Okay. While we'll not get into this exercise, because this exercise itself will take more than half an hour or 40 minutes. This is just for you to know there are models to test and check your creativity levels. Okay. Now let's try one more. Is that okay? You can see a picture, and the question is simple. If you wanted to make traffic worse instead of better, what would you do? Okay, let me repeat it. If you wanted to make traffic worse, not improve, okay, that's something, improvement, you'll have 100 ideas, I know. If you wanted to make traffic worse instead of better, what would you do? And the timing is same, one minute. Yeah. I'll just give you 1 minute time, and let's start with it. Okay. Once the timer starts, you can start writing. Okay. So, how many of you could create more ideas now? You can unmute and speak. How many of you could create more than 5 ideas?
Prabhuji, I did 5.
6? Very nice.
Sir, I did 5.
5? Very nice. Okay. If you have done anything more than 5, it is good. Okay. Now, maybe it's good to hear, right? What kind of ideas were there? Maybe we'll start with Darhas.
Sure. We can remove traffic lights. We
Hmm.
can
one point.
Hmm.
and we can
One by
also
one. Huh.
we can remove traffic polices. We
Hmm.
can make more road work,
Mm-hmm.
and we can make more bridges. So when the bridge opens, the
Hmm.
traffic is more.
Okay.
Adding more vegetable carts on the road
Okay. That's
and
great.
making
Okay.
the road even narrower.
Mm-hmm. Okay. That's good.
Enough for one bicycle to go.
Okay. Good. Very nice. Very nice. Very nice. Yes. Rajesh, over to you.
I have written
Hmm.
as opening vehicle showrooms, remove traffic signals, remove
Hmm.
footpaths,
Hmm.
create potholes,
Hmm.
remove zebra crossings,
Mm-hmm.
and allow people to walk on roads.
Oh, good. There's five of them, right? Good. Very nice. Anyone else?
Yes.
Neha or Varun? I don't know name of the students there. If you can just help me with the name of the students. Okay. Fine. Very good. Very nice. So you are already creative, right? So you need to channelize this in a right way. That's the important thing. Okay. Now I would like to.
Actually, Varun Chand is my father.
Okay. What's your name?
Darahas.
Oh, okay. It's your father, is it? Okay. Fine. Fine. How about Sneha? Okay. Fine. Okay. Now I'd like to hand over to Shrikant to just give a brief about Innacademy, right? What do we do and why do we do? Then we'll continue further.
Thank you, Ganesh. So once again, welcome to all of you. So all of you must be wondering why we started in Academy. Now you're all aware that schools or colleges are already burdened with completion of syllabus. So when it comes to important topics like critical thinking or creativity, they're obviously not having enough time to focus on such important activities. So we thought, as bunch of professionals who worked in multiple companies, who understood the importance of creativity and critical thinking in the corporate world and everywhere else in life, right? We thought we'll come together and create uh, a space where we can help youngsters, whether they're school-going children or college students who are about to enter the corporate world, gain these important skills that are needed for the future. So the mission, like we can see, is to help young leaders, that is all of you school going and college going children, to ensure that you're rising in the world while rooted in wisdom. So what this basically means is, while you should be great at what you do in your jobs, it's also important to ensure that you don't miss out on the true Indian values, which is what India is known for, that is the spirituality. So we want students to be successful not only on the outside, that is in their jobs, but also on the inside, right? So being successful both on the inside and outside. A little bit of introduction about our coach today, Ganesh. So Ganesh has been someone who's been actively involved with the creative process and innovation for over 21 years now. He's been a mentor to many students, right from school going children all the way to college students and even the youngsters joining in the corporate world. So currently, he's an innovation leader at Mercedes-Benz Research Development India. He's also been awarded the Corporate Entrepreneurship Development Award at Mercedes. And like I said, he's worked with multiple institutes like BNMIT, Jain University, Gnanasvikar School, and ISKCON, of course. For the last few years, he's been handling workshops on critical thinking, innovation, design thinking, and of course, topics very close to his heart, like the Bhagavad Gita for youth, to ensure that human values grow inside them. Uh, a few glimpses of the classes that he has been conducting over the last few years. So
Thank you.
I'll hand it over back to
Thank you,
Ganesh.
Shrikant. Thank you. So one of our friend, Mr. Rambu, is also here. He's also been part of Innacademy for quite some time. We did a lot of sessions together. Thanks, Rambu, for joining in. So let's go to the story of Arjun. I'll just give you a story of a student and see if you can relate to this. I know some of you are younger in this space, but then you would have certainly seen some of your elder brothers also who fall in this space. And just try to imagine if you see someone in the similar space. Okay? So it's a story of a student who's lost in the race. Arjun is a 16 years old student from Bangalore. As every parent, his parents also wanted him to secure a seat in IIT. Like, everyone is learning, to crack IIT JEE starting from sixth standard onwards today. That's pity actually, but that's how it is. He was also struggling a lot to learn all those concepts which are useful for him to crack IIT. He spent hours memorizing formulae and theories. He struggled to see real world application of whatever he was learning. That's a key problem here. And that's what I think many of us also feel, that many times we see we are studying so many subjects, and what is the use of this in my real life? He had a packed schedule for the whole day from 8 a.m. till 8 p.m. From morning to evening, he used to have classes, and the evening he used to have tuitions. And by the time he used to be back home, his day would have been over. Similarly, he used to have his weekends also filled with mock tests and revisions because, as you know, he's a 16-year-old student, and he has just finished his 10th standard, and then he is into the race, right? Whenever he went to school or college, ranks mattered more than learning. His classmates were competitors to him rather than friends. We go to school because we want to have more and more friends, but incidentally, we end up having them as competitors, which is a pity today, right? To relieve all his stress, he used Instagram and YouTube. And over a period of time, he realized that his phone took more time, more hours of his creative time, and that actually resulted into a distraction tool rather than a relaxation tool. He loved sketching and designing video game characters, but people told him that art has no future, and that's why he hesitated to show his work to anyone. Right? Do you resonate with this? I mean, do you also see similar kind of scenarios in the society across? Maybe this is a question to parents as well, right? Maybe kids might not have seen all of these, but they would be experiencing some of this. But parents, as parents, we would have we would have certainly seen this. And what is the reason for all this? The first and foremost reason is academic relevance in the real world. Somehow, our academic learning is not related to the real world problems. Academic stress is too much because our teachers want us to learn everything. Yeah? They want us not to miss anything and learn everything, and that's a stress. It's too much of learning in a short period of time. Too many expectations. Yeah, today ranks matter more than anything else, as I mentioned earlier. And everywhere there is tough competition because we have so many youngsters competing with us for the same kind of a job or same kind of resource that we have in our country. Social media distractions are at peak today. And with all this, our kids are low on confidence. The question that we have to ask is, are they ready for the future with this kind of a scenario? While we can't really take them off the social media, what can we do? What can we do so that they are ready for future while they are not stressed, while they are enjoying whatever they are learning in the school? Let's understand how Arjun transformed his pressure into passion. One day I attended a workshop on creative thinking with maths. One of the teachers took up a session on creative thinking with maths. At that point of time, he realized that learning is not just a stress, but it's an adventure as well. How? He merged his love for design with mathematics. He thought, I'm good at arts. Why not? I'm good at sketching. Why not learn mathematics through sketching? Why not understand mathematics by sketching? Why should I sketch someone's picture or some picture from the nature? Why not sketch mathematics? Imagine mathematics in the form of sketch. So he tried Fibonacci sequence. I don't know if some of your kids are younger. So if you don't know what is Fibonacci sequence talks about every third number is a sum of previous two numbers. So when you have 1, 1, and 2, that means 2 is a sum of 1 plus 1. And first three numbers are 1, 1, 2. Then the next number will be 1 plus 2, which is 3. Likewise, you can create a sequence that's called Fibonacci sequence. And this is a very important concept that is being used in a lot of IT concepts, as well as in the cryptography that we use in our IT world. What he did was he clubbed this Fibonacci sequence with mandala-like art pattern. He started learning that with mandala-like art pattern. That really helped him realize that he can use his skill of sketching to learn mathematics better. He started using visual sketch and mind maps to understand concepts from chemistry as well. Like many times we start sketching, we feel that we only have to sketch whatever is there in the nature. Whatever we see, whatever looks good to us, that is what we have to sketch. No, it's not necessary. You can imagine anything and use your sketching ability to learn something new. That's what he did. He didn't stop there. He went to two of his friends and he created an interactive learning app which combined maths and art to solve problems. Now he realized that other students are also facing the same problem. So he clubbed this with applications, which is IT application. And he did it with two of his friends. And now his friends are his mates, his close friends. They're no more competitors. He worked with them to create an interactive learning app. And he pitched that idea during a school project. What happened after that? His teachers admired him, his students, his friends, everyone admired him for whatever he did because it was helping them. He induced a AI layer on top of it. While he did not know AI, he learned it from some of his seniors and got the help from them and created an AI-enabled app to solve mathematical problems through art. And he presented this concept in National Innovation Contest and got the first place. Today, he is promoting his app in the Instagram as well as YouTube. And he has created his own personal brand. He runs a micro startup where the app gives him parallel income. A big company has hired him for his success because he's already known in the market. And he's developing few more apps to help students. Right? Does it not look like a success story that you can also replicate? Right? It's not that difficult. I have seen many of this, candidates who have gone this path. And unfortunately, the numbers are less, not many. There are very few people who have done this because there are very few people who got their creative ability channelized in a right way. Here in this case, Arjun channelized his creativity in a right way and he solved a problem for students. He didn't really, kept sketching and kept creating some beautiful drawings and taking a picture and putting it in Instagram. He rather used his sketching ability to solve a problem for his own student community. And that's where people started recognizing him. So if you look at the whole story, how it has gone well for Arjun, academics is no more a stress for him. It's a fun because he is using his own strength, that is sketching, to learn this. He's applying all his learning to solve problem for other students. He's not just enjoying his sketching, he is also solving problem for others. He has not considered his friends as competitors. He has collaborated with them, worked with them to create an app. He has also learned new age skills, which is like AI, and he didn't have to go through a course to learn that. He just has to apply this with the help of some of his seniors, and he won an innovation contest. He used social media now. He used same Instagram and social media, which was draining him earlier, which was distracting him, to promote his own brand. Now he is using Instagram and YouTube for a purpose. It was not that earlier he did not have Insta and YT. He also had that, but he didn't have a purpose behind it. Now he has a clear purpose as to what to use it for. Now, the most important thing is he is capable of being self-reliant. He is not worried about whether someone gives him a job or not. His app is earning him a parallel income and he doesn't have any stress. Many times I realize students who come out of college, even after they come out of good colleges like IITs, they're waiting for someone to give them a job. Can they not create a parallel income for themselves? Why? They can always work in a job and do whatever they want, but can they not create a parallel income for themselves through a creative process so that they're not under stress? And if we don't do this today, tomorrow you will have a lot of students who are competing for few jobs and a lot of stress that is being exerted on all the students. So we should be able to find our own way, and that is the intent of this course here. Okay. Now let's imagine, what if our students are able to think creatively, connect learning to the real world problems, convert the regular subjects into a fun challenge, collaborate with other students to solve real world challenges and problems. AI proof them. That means a lot of jobs are going to be automated with AI, but there are certain skills like creative thinking that cannot be replicated with AI. And finally, they are able to develop an ability to be self-reliant, even in the scenario when there is a job market crisis. Job market crisis is always there, and it's cyclical. Today you'll have many jobs, tomorrow you'll have very few jobs. Day after tomorrow you'll have many jobs, again there will be very few jobs. This is a cycle always. At any point of time, if you are self-reliant, if you have a source of income by yourself, nothing like it, right? That is the easiest way, and that's the best way. And all of these, if you can learn as a hobby, that's the best thing to do. Now, what's the solution for all these problems? And this is where we have come up with this session called Jijnasa. Jijnasa in Sanskrit means curiosity, because any creative process starts with curiosity. If you're not curious to learn something new, then you can't be creative. It is impossible for you to be creative. Curiosity is the basis of creativity. And this is a program which makes students future ready on one side with creative thinking abilities, while helping them relax the mind as well. As it is said, that creativity is a natural stress reliever because it transforms mental pressure into playful exploration. All that we learn in our schools is something which we call as left brain fundamental. That means all that we learn in school is logical. And creativity is a right brain fundamental. That means that's where emotions play a bigger role. And when you have engaged into creative thinking, naturally your emotions get triggered, and when your emotions are triggered, it gives you a lot of soothing effect. And that's where we say creativity is a natural stress reliever. Even if you have a lot of stress with your academics, you will still feel relieved because naturally creativity is a right brain fundamental which triggers emotions. Now I'll just take you through the program as a whole. How will that be structured? So there are two parts to it. One is creative mastery, another one is mind mastery. Creative mastery is going to be 3 classes in a month. Every week you will have 1 class. And mind mastery is going to be 1 class in a month. You will have many topics like seeing with fresh eyes, that is art of observation. We'll try that today. Reframing problems and opportunities, thinking in symbols, thinking like a child, reverse thinking, thinking like a detective, thinking like a scientist. All of these are going to be unique sessions. Every session is going to trigger a different way of thinking in you. Okay. And you will realize after some time that you are able to create new ideas much, much faster than what you are able to do today. And not only create ideas, you are able to apply them as well, and you are able to experiment with them as well. While we do that, it is also important to understand certain tricks that mind plays and how do we deal with them. And that's where you will see the mind mastery topics, which are Bhagavad Gita for modern youth. How do we apply the concept from Bhagavad Gita in our real life? How do we manage time? What is the way of learning? How do we manage our memory? All these things are necessary to complement the creative mastery, because pure play creativity doesn't work if you're not able to handle the mind properly. Okay. So in short, it has all the 3 aspects, which is being future ready. How do we relax the mind and handle it properly? And also the academic excellence part of it. How do you use this creative mastery for your academic excellence? The modalities are like this. It is for the students from the age 11 to 21 years. Why this bracket? Because this is a bracket which has highest amount of creative power. Before 11 years, you are not yet exposed to the world, so you can't solve problems because you don't know the world. 11 to 21 years is a right time where your creative part of the brain is growing, and also you are exposed to the world. You know that there are problems in the world, and you want to solve them. Right? That is how it is structured. It is a live online coaching, so you don't have to go anywhere. You don't have to travel anywhere. Maximum 20 students per batch, and I don't think we can take more than one batch today because my capacity is also limited. Maximum one batch that I can take. And weekly sessions, every week we'll have 90 minutes of session. So timing is going to be like weekday evening around 7 to 8:30 p.m. Typically, it's going to be on Thursday, but we can decide it together. Okay. Every session will have a unique concept. So there will not be repetition of the concepts. You'll have a different concept and a different experience every session. And that is where creativity is triggered. If you miss any session, then there will be a monthly recap session where you can pick up the topic. You will also learn application of generative AI, because if you don't know AI today, you can't use your creative ability in a better way. You'll also be taught how to use generative AI. That is prompt engineering, as well as how do we use generative AI tools like DeepSeek and ChatGPT, etc., effectively to improve your creativity. After every 20 classes, there will be an action learning project. The action learning project could be a project which to solve a social problem. We'll have to create a concept to solve a social problem. Okay. And you will have other coaching, industry professionals also coming into the session and giving you coaching on various topics related to technology and application of technology, etc. Okay. And every session will have fun games and hands-on exercises. It's not going to be boring, and we don't want it to be boring as well. Okay. Fees for this is around 2,800 per month, which is almost like music class that you can see, music class or an guitar class that you enroll for. But here you're going to not only relax your mind, you will also be ready for the future. As and when you learn more and more of creative thinking, you'll be more ready for the future, you'll be more ready for your future job or your business or whatever you want to do in your career. And we are starting these classes from 10th of April. Okay. Now, our mission at the end of the day is to develop young leaders who are rising in the world while rooted in the wisdom. That means a creative thinker who is able to create value for this world, while that person should be able to apply the ancient Indian philosophy in his life and also be able to teach this to others. That is our motto, right? We want our students to be successful both inside as well as outside. That is the motto that we have in Innacademy. With this, I'll just come to the admission process and then we'll go on to the question and answer session. Now you are into orientation, and we'll also get into exploration session after this. So exploration session is only going to be for the students. After this, parents can opt to stay and opt to move out of the meeting as well. But after this, there will be a selection process. That means we will also send you a Google form wherein we want the students to fill a statement of purpose. I'll also explain during the exploration session as to how to fill that. We only want serious students who are clear that they want to learn this in this session. Okay. Once you send the statement of purpose, we will review that and see if it is matching. If it is matching to what we are going to teach, and then we will intimate you that yes, if you're selected, then we will send you a mail or send you a message on WhatsApp. You can pay the fees and start with it. You'll be added to an exclusive WhatsApp group, and class details will be shared in the group. Okay. Just to show to the parents as to how the form would look like, maybe I'll explain that to students later as well. So it's simple. You have to just put the name of the student here. Just record your mail ID here and put the name of the students, age of the student, as well as your WhatsApp number. Here is a question that students need to answer. The parents can help them give hints, but please do not type by yourself. Ask your kids to type in, because we want the students' viewpoint here. They are going to be on the creative journey, and they should be clear on this. Yeah. The question is simple. Why do you want to join Jijnasa coaching? Give minimum 3 reasons with explanation. What is the reason that you want to join this? Right? And believe me, if students or the kids are not aligned, then it doesn't make sense that they attend these sessions. Because here, finally, I'm not here to teach them something. I'm here to trigger the creative potential that is there within them. Creativity is something which you can't teach. While you can learn that, but you can't teach that. That's the beauty of it. If you have it in you, and if it is ripe enough, then a coach can trigger that. Me as a coach will only trigger that and make sure that whatever creative potential you have, you're able to realize it and you're able to apply that. That simply means, first of all, you should know and you should be convinced that you want to do this. Without that, it doesn't work. It's not a forced class that you can have, right? So that's why it is important that you fill in this statement of purpose. We would like to read this through and understand your intent, and then we go on to the class. Okay? So, any questions on this?
Ganesh, there's a question in the chat by Darhas. He's
Okay.
asked the duration of the course.
1 second. Yeah. So this is going to be a regular class. It's not going to be a 1 month, 2 month, 3 month program. As I said, creativity is a marathon. And if for example, if I ask you, if you have to go to gym, what is the duration that you plan for gym? There's nothing. You have to keep on doing this. Unless and until when you are able to get on to a position that where you are confident that you are able to create something new, that's where you can say that I'm practicing it hands-on. So when you get into a creative job, for example, that's why you can say that I'm practicing it hands-on. Till that time, you have to keep on practicing it in different formats. And that is where I would say that it is not limited to time frame. It's a regular class. It's a regular class. Every week you will have different session and different class that will help you trigger your creative potential. So it's not 2 months course that you finish and then you are creative. It doesn't happen like that. It's similar to going to a gym where every time you go, you build on your muscle, lose out your fat, and you have to keep on doing this for a longer period of time. And the moment you leave it, you'll again become fat. Right? That's how it is. That's why I introduced the concept of creative gym. Yeah.